Okay, before we go through the process of taking this system powered by block code and repurposing it for our own block, one more important thing to understand about these block plugins. Now, this is a block plugin, right? The important thing to understand is that this does not define a block. So this is basically a factory for blocks. This will allow you to create unlimited numbers of blocks of this type. This just defines the parameters of the block. So that's why if we go back to the user interface and we look at this, and we scroll down to the bottom and see this powered by Drupal block, we can go up here and we can add another powered by Drupal block. Now, as just a quick side note, when I click this, it's not doing anything. And so what my guess is that there's something inside of my module code that's getting in the way of this pop-up showing. So I'm going to go ahead and open up the inspector, and I'm going to look at the console, and I'm going to minimize this a little bit and scroll down. So what I'm going to do is look at my network here, and when I click Powered by Drupal, what happens is it loads another page here. And if we take a look at this, I'm going to click on this and I'm going to look at preview here. What we can see here is a set of errors. So every time we click this, it's making an AJAX call. And if we saw this as it is, you'd see just a red error at the very top. That red error, I believe, is produced by Xdebug. So you might not see that exactly. This might look a little cleaner to you. But what I'm going to look for here is an error message. And so I'm seeing it right here. Fatal error call to undefined function variable get and trails.module on line 212. So I'm going to jump back to my editor and I'm going to open up trails.module and go to line 212. And it's in this trails cron. So I'm guessing what's happening is that there's something like poor man's cron, which will run cron on a regular basis, even though we don't have a cron set up already. And so what I'm going to do here is just comment out all of the code in cron for now, and we'll come back to this when we're ready to rewrite it for Drupal 8. And I'm going to save this, and then I'll jump back to the browser. Let's try this again. I'm going to click Powered by Drupal. All right, we get the overlay. So we can set the region as footer and save it. And now you can see we now have 2 Powered by Drupal blocks, and we can continue adding these in here. This was one limitation of Drupal 7 that was a little frustrating, but in Drupal 8, we now have the ability to create multiple versions of any block that's there. It does require a bit of a mental shift though, because instead of defining a block, we're actually defining a block factory.